Hello and welcome back to our Retire Early lifestyle. We're looking for the non-EU spots. No high traffic, no gringo foreigner bubbles, and places where you can actually obtain a residency visa without all the bureaucratic hoopla. Here is our 5-point list. 1. Low crime. 2. Not in the EU. 3. Not listed on the RAM Top 10 Global Index. No gringo bubbles. 4. Easy residency. And 5. Affordable. Are there really such countries as this? Yes, let me show you 3 of those countries that we researched for you in this video. Number 1, Uruguay. One of the safest countries in Latin America. Uruguay is still affordable because it's not on the RAM's Top 10 Global Retirement list. Imagine that. Although the truth is, Uruguay is more expensive than the other 2 countries we list here today, but you are paying for the lack of volatility and peace of mind when you move to Uruguay. It's a very nice, peaceful, and low-crime area for a South American country. Here's why we say that. Interestingly, Uruguay has been considered by some as the Switzerland of the South. A person or couple can have a very relaxed and enjoyable lifestyle here. It's not a party country like Colombia or Brazil. It's for people who want to walk their dog without having to look over their shoulder. However, even though a country claims to be safe, we still do watch our back. It is South America right next door to Brazil, after all. Here's the thing. If you're looking at those top 10 places to retire lists, you're likely looking at a trap. By the time a country hits those lists, the influencers have arrived. The gringo pricing has set in, and the locals are, frankly, getting tired of us. Expats have reported world-class healthcare, though, in Uruguay. Their healthcare system, the Mutualista, is the gold standard for retirees. You pay a monthly fee and you get private-level care without the hostage pricing you would see in other foreign countries. Bottom line, in Uruguay, you skip the volatility of Argentina or the safety concerns of Colombia. You've got good, clean food, great health care, and no huge gringo bubbles. It sounds too good to be true, right? Well, here's the catch. It's not dirt cheap. You aren't going to live like a king on $1,000 a month in Uruguay. You're paying for the stability and peace of mind. It's a fair value play for people who value their peace of mind over a bargain basement budget. Here's what the numbers look like in the Switzerland of South America. Now, you can rent a 1-bedroom in a nice, safe area in one of the very nice neighborhoods for between $800 and $1,100. Utilities and electricity and water are a little high. Groceries are $400 to $550. Private health insurance is $60 to $100, and the total is around $1,500 to $2,000. Uruguay has what is called the Rentista Vista. It's pretty straightforward and easy. You need to show a monthly income of roughly $1,500 a month for a single person. This can come from a pension, Social Security, or even dividends. And there is no government buy-in. You don't have to pay $50,000 to the state or buy a house to receive residency here. You just have to prove you can support yourself. Once you apply, you get a temporary ID card called a cedula almost immediately. This gives you nearly all the rights of a citizen, like using the healthcare system, for example, while your permanent residency is processing. It's quite easy when you compare it with the bureaucratic nightmares of the EU. Country number 2, the ultimate visa freedom, Georgia. Georgia passes the Retire Early lifestyle test simply because it's easy peasy for North Americans to just travel there and go out to dinner. It is one of the few countries in the world where you could just show up and stay for a year with zero visa hassle. It's not in the EU yet. That means it is much more affordable than other countries in Europe, and the infrastructure in the bigger cities like Tbilisi and Batumi are surprisingly modern. Georgia is not bound by EU regulations, which makes the tax system simple and the entrepreneurial spirit is high. So how does that sound to you? If you want a non-EU spot on the map that respects your wallet, Georgia might be a country to consider. And check this out for all you nomads and remote workers. Georgia has a secret weapon called the small business status. Most countries will take 20, 30, or even 40% of your hard-earned income. In Georgia, if you qualify, you pay just 1%. Yes, you heard that right, 1%. That's the difference between just surviving on your savings and actually growing your wealth while you live abroad. It's the ultimate best financial move for anyone with a digital income. Now, for the cost of living in Georgia, as far as value goes, an expat can live a high-quality life for around $1,500 to $2,000 a month for a couple. Your dollar goes much further here, but it is getting more and more expensive as people learn about this country. It is a very small country after all. And the reality is, and the pattern shows, that the prices will steadily keep climbing until it becomes just another spot to move to. Frank and I were in Tbilisi in 2020, and you could easily find a furnished rental for $250 to $500 back then. So, this is the new 2026 prices. What? It's been a little over 5 years since then, and they've already gone up double. Now for the cold, dark truth. Georgian language is incredibly difficult to learn, but most Americans don't really learn the language of any country they move to, so that shouldn't be a reason a person would not want to move here. Anyone can still learn the greetings and basic short sentences if they want to be able to show the locals at least they're trying at the language. We walked around with the greetings on paper when we traveled to Georgia, Armenia, and Poland. It clearly breaks the ice and makes things more pleasant. You'll receive more smiles and cordialness when you remember to greet people for the day. So greeting the locals is not just a thing in Latin America. It's universal, really. So if you want an ease of entry country, as a U.S. citizen, you can just show up and stay for 365 days visa-free. No lawyer and no monthly fees. So here is the proof. You can easily see that once we stop following the rams into the bubbles and start looking at where the actual value is, like in a country like Georgia, we might end up staying longer because our dollar goes much further here. We can be expats longer than just 2 years. For now, if you want a non-EU spot on the map that respects your wallet, Georgia might be that country. Moving on to country number 3, Serbia. Serbia is the most unknown and underrated of our 3 countries that we're talking about today in this video. It's probably the best bet out of the 3 countries we list today. And here's why. We chose it because it passed the Retire Early Lifestyle test. It's not located in the EU or is in the top 10 global index. And that, folks, makes it affordable. No foreigner bubbles here. I know for some of you it might not have been on your radar, but when we talk about functional non-EU, Serbia hits every single mark. It is also one of the safest countries in Europe. Unlike the influencer bubbles of Portugal or Mexico, Serbia isn't trying to sell you a dream, at least not yet. It's offering you a high-functioning reality. If you're tired of the EU's endless residency hurdles and bureaucratic hoopla, Serbia just might be your country. Serbia makes it straightforward. If you buy a habitable property, even a modest apartment, you are on the path to residency. Talk about easy peasy. And there are so many people that just want to flee the USA, move abroad, and buy a property for nothing. Well, now's your chance. Unlike the golden visas in the EU that demand $500,000 to $1 million investment, there is no minimum spending requirement on the property-based investment in Serbia. Here's what they want in exchange for permanent residency in their country. The threshold is 0. It's none. As long as the property is habitable and you intend to live in it, it qualifies. What counts? It can be a modest apartment in Novi Sad for $50,000 or $60,000, or a small house in the countryside for $20,000 to $30,000. The process? You just buy the property, you get your deed, and then you apply for residency at the local police station. And voila! There's your permanent residency. Or, what if you're not ready to buy a house yet? This is where Serbia gets really interesting for the retire abroad early crowd. While countries like Greece and Portugal are raising their residency visa costs all the time and putting people through the paperwork ringer, Serbia has no minimum threshold investment. You can get residency just by showing you have the funds to support yourself. We're talking about a financial threshold that is a fraction of what you'd see in places like Spain or Italy. Instead of locking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in a golden visa, you can simply open a local bank account and show you have enough to cover your costs for the year, and you're in. Dippity-doo-dah, dippity-day. It's the ultimate low functional move. Low entry cost, low bureaucracy, which ultimately gives you the freedom to live in incredible Balkan country for a year to see if it's the right fit for you before you ever spend a dime on property. And here's another shocker. Are you ready? The cost of living may shock some of you, so hope you're sitting down and not drinking anything hot. Just for fun, we're going to show you the cost of living between Belgrade, Serbia, and Lisbon, Portugal. Put down that hot coffee now. This is the difference between an unpromoted country and one that is listed on the RAM's Retirement Global Index over and over again. Here we go. Just in rent, Serbia saves you about $750 a month. The grocery basket, Serbia is about 30% cheaper. Private health care, Serbia is 40% cheaper. Utilities, including fiber optics, is about $100 a month cheaper. And so your total monthly base, you're going to save about 45%. So if your total monthly would be $1,000 to $1,300 in Belgrade, Serbia, and in Lisbon, Portugal, it's between $1,950 and $2,450. That's about 45% cheaper, folks. And here's the last shocker about Serbia. It's safer walking in Serbia than in Paris or London. How do you like them apples? And here's the difference of some of the statistics on safety between Belgrade versus Lisbon. Belgrade is statistically safer for walking alone at night than Lisbon, Portugal. Lisbon has more tourist-targeted crime as well. I don't like to call it petty because I've seen a lot of people get hurt and they call it petty crime. So that's just ridiculous. You saw it here first, folks, and we're happy to do some of the research for you. And that's our 3 countries that passed the Retire Early Lifestyle test. What do you think? Do you like Georgia, where you have a digital business and want to live on the absolute minimum while keeping your taxes at 1%? This is your spot. Or perhaps you like Serbia for the 0% property investment and world-class safety. It's the most logical middle ground for a European lifestyle without the EU price tag. Or maybe Uruguay is the winner for you, the easy peasy residency path for those with a steady pension of $1,500 and the laid back Latin lifestyle, since Spanish is an easier language for most folks. So whichever country you choose, remember, functional and low cost beats fancy and luxury every single time when it comes to a stress-free environment. Is there anything we haven't touched on? Yes, there are things going on the global scale that most aren't talking about right now, but that's a subject for another time. Let us know in the comments which country sounds the best for you, or maybe it's all 3. Take care and bye-bye for now.